personne qui peut nous aider vraiment à éradiquer le terrorisme, il n'y a pas de problème. La personne est bienvenue.
In the Sahel, these violent extremist groups represent a threat not just to this region, but across the continent, even reaching out to many other parts of the world.
A secure, prosperous, and stable Africa is an enduring American interest.
On se rejoint avec les Américains. On combat un ennemi commun.
The government, Secretary Esper, they make the decisions. We follow the decisions made by the President of the United States.
No comments on anything because, first of all, no decisions have been made.
Senegal, the gateway to West Africa, where the U.S. Army has been leading wide-ranging counterterrorism training efforts. It's sharing its combat techniques with troops from 30 African countries. Among them are members of the G5 Sahel Joint Force, Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Burkina Faso. It covers an area of about 5 million square kilometers where terrorist organizations have been gaining ground. In the past 18 months, terrorist strikes in the region have increased steadily. About 800 attacks and 2,600 deaths have been reported, and those numbers have been doubling every year since 2015. It's a situation these soldiers know all too well. They're from Dori, in the north of Burkina Faso, a region marred by violence.
Les distances sont très importantes. Comme vous savez, voilà, c'est proche là, la falle là, et puis c'est parti. Donc il faut respecter les distances, c'est très important.
Lieutenant Dauda leads a combat section tasked with tracking down extremist groups active in Burkina Faso. For him, the training provided by U.S. instructors is crucial.
On est en train de perfectionner de plus en plus, quoi. Voilà, il y a des connaissances que nous n'avions utilisées. Donc, voilà, quand on va combiner les deux, on aura quelque chose d'encore de meilleur. Voilà, toujours comme ça.
But while the terrorist threat keeps growing in the Sahel, the U.S. may be on its way out of the region and even Africa as a whole. U.S. troops currently act in support of African forces. They provide logistical help as well as training. These instructors belong to the U.S. Special Forces, which is why we had to hide their faces.
Comment allez-vous?
Ouais, ça va bien.
Ça va bien?
Ouais, ça va bien.
Comment est-ce que l'entraînement aujourd'hui?
Ouais, c'est bien passé.
C'est bon?
Ah, c'est bon, on a bien débuté. On a déjà appris beaucoup de choses déjà.
J'ai vu aussi la capacité de votre soldat est augmentée avec l'entraînement. Les Américains, nous sommes contents pour votre participation aussi.
Voilà. Nous sommes contents aussi.
Captain Nate is supervising this training session. Flanked by a communications officer, he avoids commenting on a possible U.S. withdrawal to focus on how they are currently helping.
It's a policy thing. I could say the training and then can I say build capacity for the fight? Okay. The training we provide builds capacity for them for when they go back to their own countries to hopefully have an increased level of proficiency in the fight against violent extremist organizations on the continent.
Captain Nate is part of the U.S. Army's 3rd Special Forces Group. Less than 3 years ago, soldiers from the 3rd SFG were killed in a terrorist attack in Niger, known as the Tongo Tongo ambush. On October 4th, 2017, during a recon mission north of the capital Niamey, 11 U.S. soldiers and 35 Nigerians were attacked by about 50 well-organized insurgents. Caught off guard by the terrorists' firepower, the U.S. convoy tried to flee, but the last vehicle got caught. These images were filmed by a camera worn by one of the U.S. soldiers. Overpowered in number and firepower, they were killed one by one. The camera was later pulled off the dead U.S. soldier's body by the terrorists, who then used the video for propaganda. The rest of the group made it out alive, rescued by French helicopters.